By New York Congresswoman, Republican Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, good to see you here. Thanks for being with us. I want to show you part of President Trump's recent post on Truth Social. He said this, quote, "In Minnesota, there's too much media attention on ICE, who have removed some of the worst murderers and criminals in the world, and not enough attention paid to the staggering sums of money stolen from the state by corrupt Minnesota politicians." So, Congressman, what do you make of his comments? Is he right? Have the law enforcement actions, the illegal immigration enforcement actions there, and the subsequent protests in the Twin Cities, have they overshadowed the major fraud story that's still ongoing there in Minnesota?
Well, I think that's the whole point of all these protests. And now at this point, it's continuing to gin them up to distract everyone from the just tremendous fraud, abuse, and waste that we've seen in Minnesota, uncovered by Nick Shirley, the Quality Leering Center. And now people are starting to look in their own states, like New York and California and everywhere, to eradicate this. But the Democrats are part of this operation, as we seem to think or know. Many of them seem to know. But you see Ilhan Omar and others, and Governor Walz, Mayor Fry out there screaming, yelling about ICE. Where do we come up with this, this unlawful behavior against people who are serving in law enforcement? Right. It's more of the demoralize and defund the police movement that we saw, starting in 2017 and 2018 on steroids now going against ICE, although they're okay all of a sudden with the National Guard, who they opposed earlier last year.
Yeah, no, great point. And you mentioned New York as well. That's your state. And we know this isn't just happening in Minnesota, because in New York, sanctuary policies are blocking ICE from essentially doing their jobs. And then they arrest these criminals, but then they're released right back into communities. What would you like to see from Governor Hochul in terms of cooperation maybe with ICE and making cities safer?
Well, number one, we have to eliminate this whole cash bail system and all the citizen laws that really are promoting criminals all across New York. That's the reason that you have such high crime problems, and the reason we have issues all across New York. We had Kathy Hochul, our governor, actually took shots at and eliminated and laid off many of our corrections officers, in an attempt to close down some of our prisons. And yet what happened? We had 2 prisons in New York State get overrun by inmates. And she brought in who? The National Guard to try to bring and restore order. So to me, I think, bringing back common sense laws that were eliminated in prior administrations, and also, giving respect again to our law enforcement and understanding what's really going on. I represent New York's 24th district. My entire northern district is the northern border of New York with Canada. It has been a porous border, New York acting as a sanctuary state under Joe Biden. We've allowed all kinds of dangerous criminals into our communities. And unfortunately, one thing that I think the Department of Homeland Security could do better, although they're limited by our laws, is to show that these dangerous criminals, much like Hamas, hide behind otherwise innocent people. They're not just at homes and apartments with people who are other criminals. They're hiding amongst those people who are otherwise working in a job, maybe in a farm or doing a construction job, and they're actually extorting and actually putting these other people in harm's way. So when ICE goes to execute a warrant, these dangerous cartel members, more than likely dangerous, criminals, they could be murderers, rapists, right, human traffickers, drug traffickers. They're with innocent people, and these Democrats don't know what they're doing, and ICE has the information on these people. They've been tracking them for weeks and months. They know who they are, and it's just like you would not interfere right, with a police officer, dealing with and chasing down a bank robber.
Oh, yeah, you make such a good point. Congressman Claudia Tenney, always great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.